Well, Gerry, I didn't do one of these videos last week because it was Easter and because Marky Marks was in Brussels. But what's happened since then? Well, earlier this week we launched our Westminster manifesto, and we did so on a historic place in County Tyrone on Crook, O'Neill, Oich, Starrowell and Shin. And Martin McGuinness and the rest of our leadership spelt out Sinn Féin's policy points, which is not only against austerity, but which is also about trying to ensure that we have a working budget, that we face up to whatever government comes in London and negotiate for the entitlements of people who live in the north, and that we face up to the reality that the union now means austerity, and that a lot of these other local parties have bought into that, and Sinn Féin is the only party which wants to see the transfer of fiscal and other power so that we can take these decisions for ourselves. It's just an absolute shame that millionaires sitting in London should take decisions to affect people in any part of this island, but particularly in the north at this point. We're also fighting a by-election in Kilkenny, and Kathleen Function, our candidate there, is getting a very warm response on the doors, and this week the Taoiseach, in response to me, said that the election will be on the 22nd of May. So on the 7th of May, out and vote for Sinn Féin across all 6 counties, and then that's all of us get into Carlow, Kilkenny and try and ensure that Kathleen is returned as a Sinn Féin TD. And the 22nd of May is also the marriage equality and the age change for presidential candidates, and Sinn Féin is vigorously fighting for both those issues, but our big focus of course is on marriage equality. It's an issue which is very, very important from a Republican and a Democratic perspective. This week I also saw on the back of Easter, and I thought it was quite illustrative that we had hundreds of commemorations right across all 32 counties and in North America and Australia and Britain, and RTE never even noted that that was the case. And then Micheál Martin, the Fianna Fáil leader, goes on a rant at Arbor Hill against this party, and of course we all know what that's about. He has 500,000 good reasons to be concerned, and that's the 500,000 people who are voting for Sinn Féin across this island. And it isn't that he's afraid of us, he is afraid of the electorate. So we'll contest that ground with them, and we don't have any monopoly on republicanism, but we do know that the leadership of Fianna Fáil have strayed far away from their own grassroots support, and that there's nobody more disappointed than those people who worked for the Fianna Fáil party for decades only to be betrayed by their own leadership. And of course, as I speak, there's a growing storm around the scandal which is emerging around what's called site serve. And you'll know what this is about. It goes to the heart of the relationship between government in this state and big business. Whether the government's Fianna Fáil or whether the government's Fine Gael, there's a cosy relationship with the elites, with the golden circles, in marked contrast with the despicable attitude that these Conservative governments take towards ordinary citizens. So site serve, I think, is only the tip of the scandal, which is IRBC. And it's interesting to note Pierce Doherty, who is on the Banking Commission, and therefore he cannot comment on any of these issues. And for those of you who are wondering where Pierce has gone and why he isn't in the media as much as he was, and we all miss him, that's the reason why, that he's forbidden to make comments on issues which are coming before that banking inquiry. But way back in 2012, when he tried to get information about IRBC, the Minister of Finance said that these issues were commercially sensitive. However, what we did discover was that there were deals being done which was giving away taxpayers' money and writing down debt, and of course the lid has been lifted on that now with the site serve scandal. We'll make sure the Taoiseach, who's ducking and diving and trying to avoid responsibility in this issue, faces up to the reality that what is required is a fully independent inquiry into these matters. And you see, the concerns were raised initially and the recommendations were made initially by officials in the Department of Finance. So it's they who have raised these concerns, brought them in detail to the attention of the government, and the government hasn't acted appropriately on them. And your money that could have been used to look after people who are in distress, sort out mortgage distress, look after people with disabilities, mind the elderly, that money's been given to those who have cosy relationships with the people in power.